What do you consider a cold subscriber? 30, 60, 90 days of not opening your emails, and how do you clean your list? Caroline had made a comment last week where she said she has a cold subscriber rewarming sequence that's almost identical to my welcome sequence. Lots of freebies, high value, high click rate emails that I send with very little time in between. That way people will either click on them and be rewarmed, or they will get off the list. Yep. So I'm going to let Caroline run with how she does this.
For my cold subscriber rewarming, I do it based off of ConvertKit's cold subscribers. But what I try to do is once they have been on my list as a cold subscriber, if they've been tagged as a cold subscriber, then they automatically go over into this sequence. And you can set that up just based off of like when somebody becomes a cold subscriber automatically in ConvertKit. So when they get the tag of cold subscriber, they go into this sequence that I have set up on the back end inside of ConvertKit as one of my regular sequences. And it is basically my welcome sequence over again. But they already know me. And what I do is just kind of reintroduce myself, give them a bunch of freebies and printables, and just literally just shower them with helpfulness so that it will re-engage them into my list. The goal is to either get them to love you again, remember that they love you, or get the heck off your list.
That's it.
It sounds terrible when you say it that way, but at the same time, you have to remember, I don't just keep people on my list for the warm and fuzzies. I don't just keep them on my list because out of the goodness of my heart, I will be honest though, I love to see that big old number in ConvertKit every single time I log in. So there's an issue that I have of like, I don't want to delete people off of my list. So I try not to as much as possible. I will annoy the crap out of you until you either get off of my cold subscriber list or get off of my list completely.
I have a question.
Oh, okay.
So when they're in the welcome sequence, how many days is it? This, because I know it's not the same exact welcome sequence. I'm assuming you have extra stuff added in because you're trying to either kill them with love or annoy the crap out of them. How many days long is it?
I think it's 14 days.
Okay. You're sending it every day, correct? Because
it's the same thing with my welcome sequence. So for the first 5 days, they're getting an email from me every single day. And then it's just the same thing with my email sequence where it tapers off. Email, daybreak, email, daybreak, email, 3-day break, email. So that it's not kind of like they're expecting to get an email every single day forever from me. I call it Blogger Christmas. Like you're going to get an email from me every single day. You're going to swear it's Christmas because you're getting a new gift, a new thing from me every day. I do freebies that are mine. I do freebies that are for affiliate products of mine from people that I like, things that I've found on the internet, blog posts that I like. I just give things to them constantly, like literally showering them with everything. I don't ask for anything from them. This is not a sequence where I'm saying like, I want you to buy my stuff. This is a
freebie only sequence.
Click on the freaking email.
Do you have the tag set up to give them a label so they're no longer a cold subscriber? And do you have it on every single freebie? So all they have to do is click on one to get that tag.
So ConvertKit, after much clarification from me, this is their claim. Their claim is that on their end, the automation of the cold subscriber, they get the cold tag when they haven't opened or clicked on an email in 30 days. That's what they told me. They also said that once somebody clicks or opens an email, that tag gets removed. Since it's an automatic tag from them, that is their claim. Because my list is so large, I do not have the ability to single people out. I'm not going to go super stalker mode and find like one random person who may or may not click.
The tag is removed once they click on something or once they open an email.
That's what ConvertKit says, is either open or click.
Okay. So then it would be the open because that comes first.
Yeah. And here's what made me gun shy about doing a delete of my whole list of cold people is because I used to do that. Like periodically, like every quarter, I would remove people who are on my cold subscriber list. Like I just get rid of them. But then I started getting emails from people who it was actually kind of cool. I'm like, oh, you didn't get my email anymore, and now you're emailing me. But then, of course, once that like, oh, thank you, wore off, it was like, oh, there were people that were opening my emails that never got acknowledged as a cold subscriber or a warm subscriber or whatever it was. Because apparently when you have an Android, it does not read as opened. This happened to me with Carly Campbell, our friend. I was on Carly's list and I opened all of Carly's emails. I opened all of her emails, obviously. And I got in her cold subscriber sequence. I got the, hey, I seen that you haven't opened any of my emails in a while. It's okay. Like, I still love you and everything, but get off my list. I was like, I opened all of your emails. And it wasn't until I heard that, like, if you have an Android, there's something about Gmail where it doesn't read as opened. There's a secret code inside of emails. And if you don't have open all text in an email, like if you don't open images, that's what it was. If you don't open images in an email on your phone, then it never shows that it was opened. Ever since I learned that if you open it from a phone and it doesn't show as opened, it freaks me out. And so I've stopped deleting everybody as much as possible. So then I like go in eventually and delete them. So I do it like quarterly. The people who go in and like are still cold, I tag them. And if after a year they're still a cold subscriber with that tag, then I delete them.
Okay, so I have another question. So first of all, you have this set up through an automation on ConvertKit.
Correct.
So as soon as they get the cold subscriber tag, they're thrown right into the re-engagement sequence. Okay.
Correct.
If they go through the entire automation and they don't click, how are you tagging them to know that they're actually a cold subscriber? Because I've used, like Pam said, there's a template that you can use to send to your cold subscribers. And that's what I'm doing right now. But I'm not doing the re-engagement with the freebies. And that is something that I do want to do. So that's why I want to know exactly how she's knowing who doesn't click. So she has to know, here's the thing, she has to know that the cold subscriber went through that welcome sequence. And how do you add a tag that they did not click? Is there a condition?
So once they're a cold subscriber, there's a sequence in ConvertKit, and this is basically what mine looks like, is they get a tag that says that they became a cold subscriber. And I change this each month, okay? This is it's a new tag each month, or this upcoming month will be 7/20/20.
So you manually go in and change that tag every month?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
And that way, I can come back in a year and see anybody who has that tag who is still a cold subscriber gets removed.
That is genius. Now, where are you putting the tag on before they even go through the re-engagement?
Yes.
So it'll say cold subscriber, July 2020 tag. They go through the re-engagement sequence. And then on August, it'll say, you're just going to go in and change that second tag. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then once a year, you find the last 12 months worth of tags. And if they still have that tag, then they get taken off. So
if they have the tag, and you can filter these things inside of ConvertKit, you can sort people by this tag. So the tags, when you go into your subscribers, are going to be on the far right side, and you just have to click on it and it will show everybody who's on that tag. Then on the far left side, there's going to be a bar halfway through the screen that's going to say all subscribers, cold subscribers, confirmed subscribers, bounced, complained. Those are going to be the ones that you can see. And from there, you can say cold subscribers who have that tag. Then you know that those people were back from 12 months ago are still cold subscribers. That's an indication that can be removed.
Okay, so just to be clear to our ConvertKit people out there, to make sure that you guys understand, everybody in the July 2020, for example, they're all going to have that tag. However, they're not all going to be cold subscribers, because once they go through that automation, the cold subscriber tag gets removed. They're still going to have the July 2020 tag. So that's why Caroline says you have to put two filters on it. First, pull up the cold subscriber, or first pull up the tag, and then filter out cold subscribers only, and then you can remove them.
There is no guarantee.
No, there isn't.
There isn't. And that's kind of the frustration with cold subscribers, is a lot of it seems to kind of be an all or nothing thing. There's some good people that aren't cold subscribers who get caught up in it, or you don't delete your cold list. That's a choice that you can make. For a long time, I deleted my cold list, and then I was like, I would get those emails and I'm like, I'm never deleting them again. And so this is kind of my happy medium. This is my, like, I see that there are people who are cold subscribers who are on my list, and this is how I'm addressing it.
There's a plus and a con to this. Like,
Yes.
Our friend Jennifer Maker does not remove cold subscribers from her list. Yeah. I had to, because I was paying over $2,000 a year for my list. Mm-hmm. So I just decided to get rid of my cold subscribers rather than go through this long process. A few months ago, I removed 6,000 people from my list, got the price down to where I can afford it. And now I'm starting to do this organizing and getting everything cleaned up from the back end. So I don't have to do a big delete again. So you kind of have to decide what is more prominent on your to-do list, whether it's the price tag of what you're paying or whether it's to have an engaged list. So decide what's going to work best for you and take the path accordingly.
Yeah, it's not something that I go through and say, like, this person subscribed in this month, because quite frankly, I just don't care.
Oh my God.
That's not a valuable piece of information. The only time that having that kind of knowledge is valuable is if you're going through and deleting your cold subscribers. But that's just my 2 cents on cold subscribers. I used to delete them like with utter joy. And then I started getting the emails that were like, why'd you remove me from your email list? I'm like, I didn't mean to. It told me you didn't open my emails. I thought we weren't cool anymore. So, I'm a weirdo about emails. I love reading other people's emails. It's kind of a sickness. So every once in a while, I'll wind up on someone's cold subscriber sequence. I'm like, I have been reading your emails every single time they come into my inbox. How am I getting this? And then that to me was kind of like not only like a missed opportunity, but it's also like, how many other people have been getting my cold subscriber sequence? And yeah, my cold subscriber sequence does end with an email. So it's kind of like the flip side of the welcome sequence, where it's basically the same thing. But I go back through all of my emails that were super high converting meaning like they had a really good open rate, a lot of clicks, few unsubscribes, maybe a lot of responses. Those are the emails that I'm going to put into this cold subscriber rewarming sequence. Those are the ones that I know are going to get people clicking and excited and opening my emails so that they can get off of the cold subscriber sequence. Because again, the thing with Android is, that's why I said open or click, because that extra click, if you have an Android, shows ConvertKit that you're not a cold subscriber. Hopefully.
Yes. Hopefully.
Hopefully.